You may find that you're having difficulty trusting people, and it might be people that have done nothing to really raise your suspicions, but perhaps it gets to a certain level of closeness. You start going in a direction, whether that's romantic or getting more into a closer business relationship, and these feelings, like these reactions, like, oh, I don't know if I can trust them. It can be confusing. You might even know that there's some things that happened in your past, but these reactions are coming up anyway. We're going to use some EFT tapping here to help work with those reactions, because that's a pattern formed in place to protect you. So when we work with that and acknowledge it, we can start opening some pathways here. So starting here on the side of the hand, repeating after me, even though it does not feel safe or right to me to really trust this person or these people on a deeper level. Maybe they haven't really done anything, but this feeling is arising anyway. I may be judging myself for it. I may understand why it's there, or be totally confused. I just choose to offer myself some compassion, even though it doesn't feel safe or right for me to be more trusting than I am. Even if I think I should be trusting more. Even if it seems like this is holding back intimacy. I'm open to honoring and accepting myself right where I'm at. So even though I am feeling this anxiety or resistance around trust, I choose to have compassion for myself and this feeling, open to the possibility that this is here protecting me from something that it learned or experienced in the past, and as challenging as it can be, it's not something wrong with me, but something I am open to supporting. All right, let's go through the points now. And repeating after me, this trust issue, that might be how I describe it. Like there's an issue with me. I should be able to trust more. Maybe the people I'm experiencing this with so far have been pretty solid. They might not have a lot of red flags, if any. But there's this reaction in me. Maybe it's physical. If so, I'm noticing what that feels like. How my body starts to respond. When I think about allowing them into my life more deeply, giving them certain access, becoming closer in any kind of way. Just breathing into it and noticing it. My body seems to have learned something bad can happen if we go past this point. Maybe it's more emotional or mental. I start feeling an anxiety or a discomfort. Something doesn't feel right. Or all of a sudden I'm pulling away. I may be confused by that reaction. I may feel I don't have much control over it. It could be frustrating or upsetting. Whatever my reaction is, and how I feel about those reactions. I'm just giving myself the space now to feel them more fully. Of course, my mind wants to solve this problem. It wants to analyze it. Maybe judges myself for not being more trusting. But I'm going to keep redirecting my attention back to what I'm feeling here. Physically, emotionally, the thoughts, maybe memories that arise. This reaction is not random. I learned in some way, whether that's from a really specific event or perhaps subtle dynamics in my past. Things can get a little weird if I get too close. People can take advantage in all sorts of different ways, or have the ability to hurt me if I give them too much access, too much permission, if I get too close. And whether I understand why this is here or not, my body knows. Part of me knows why it feels this way. So as best I can, I'm not judging it. Even being curious about it. This reaction is here for a reason. It wants to make sure that I'm not hurt or taken advantage of. Maybe a promise or a vow was made. We can never let that happen to us again. No matter how trustworthy someone may seem, it's simply not worth the risk. And so I'm just validating whatever's coming up for me as best I can. Understanding it's here for a reason. Letting that reaction in me know. Yeah, I get it. There is an actual risk in trusting. And maybe things really did happen to make us highly question ever trusting. But I wonder if there's some possibility here that there's a way to gently work with this. We don't have to jump to full-on trusting. Are there ways we can open up a little bit and see what happens? Trust should be earned. And maybe there are small ways where I can begin to get evidence. Say, maybe I can give this person or these people an opportunity to earn a little more trust. Maybe I'm a different person than I was. Maybe the circumstances I'm in, or my emotional and mental capacity, have actually grown. And this protective part of me doesn't know it yet. And it's still saying, never trust. What would make it okay to test trusting just a little more? We're still allowed to have our own boundaries, our own parameters. We can do this in small, gentle ways. We don't have to jump to just blind trust, nor would I even want that. And maybe there's some more stuff to process here in terms of some past pain or rejection or breach of trust that just needs more time before we even think about this. That's okay. I choose to honor whatever is needed for me, not rushing this as best I can. And if the person or people really are trustworthy and good for me, they will not be pushing and pressuring me to move faster than I am comfortable with. So relaxing the pressure on myself, respecting this reaction in me, and just learning more and more how to best work with myself and any parts of me so that it can start to feel safer to move forward. Okay, let's take a breath. Let me know how that went for you, if it's bringing anything up. As always, it's not like, do this process and then you're just going to be open and trusting. I think your nervous system would probably fight that, many of you. That's not the point. It's noticing that instinctive reaction that may be very intense, learning how to consistently work with that so we can start to open up in ways that actually are safe, and so that trust can be earned, so that people at least have the opportunity. So hope that helps. If you have any questions, let me know. If you'd like to work together or explore different ways we can work through this in a more personalized manner, as well as some other resources, you can check the links in the description below. Hope it helps, and talk to you soon.